Today, we're diving deep into the nitty-gritty of what makes dialogue really sing on the page. Because let's face it, we've all read those stories where the characters sound like robots or cardboard cutouts, just spouting exposition or cliches. And we don't want that for our own writing, do we? So, what's the secret sauce that separates unforgettable dialogue from the merely meh? How can we craft character voices that crackle with personality, authenticity, and emotional depth? Well, buckle up, because we're about to spill the tea on the 4 essential qualities of killer dialogue. First up, naturalness. If you want your characters to sound like real, breathing humans, their dialogue needs to capture the rhythms and quirks of actual speech. Think about it. In real life, we don't always speak in perfect, complete sentences. We interrupt each other, we trail off, we use slang and verbal tics. One master of natural dialogue is John Green. In his tearjerker romance, The Fault in Our Stars, the teen characters talk like, well, actual teens. They use contractions, they fumble for words, they drop pop culture references. When Augustus says to Hazel, "Oh, I wouldn't mind, Hazel Grace. It would be a privilege to have my heart broken by you," it feels like something a real love-struck 16-year-old boy might say. So, how can you inject that same sense of authenticity into your own dialogue? One trick is to read it aloud. Seriously, don't be afraid to act it out with different voices and inflections. If it sounds stilted or unnatural rolling off your tongue, chances are it'll fall flat on the page too. Another tip? Embrace the messiness of real speech. Sprinkle in some sentence fragments, some overlapping lines, some ums and uhs. Obviously, you don't want to overdo it to the point of incomprehensibility, but a little bit of realistic roughness can go a long way in making your dialogue sound natural. But just because dialogue should sound natural doesn't mean all your characters should sound the same. That's where distinctiveness comes in, giving each character their own unique voice and speaking style. Think about how you can use word choice, sentence structure, and vocal tics to convey each character's personality and background. A masterclass in distinctive character voice? The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. From the moment Holden Caulfield starts narrating, you know exactly who he is. A jaded, cynical teenager with a heart of gold. His voice is drenched in slang and repetition in phrases like, "that killed me," and "it really was." It's impossible to imagine any other character saying lines like, "I'm standing on the edge of some crazy cliff. What I have to do, I have to catch everybody if they start to go over the cliff." To give your own characters that same level of vocal distinctiveness, start by brainstorming their key traits and background details. Are they shy or brash? Highly educated or street smart? From the city or the country? Then, look for ways to express those qualities through their word choice and speech patterns. Maybe your shy character speaks in short, hesitant bursts, while your cocky lawyer has a rapid-fire delivery full of jargon. The key is to make each voice feel specific and intentional. But here's the thing. Sometimes the most powerful moments in dialogue are the ones where characters don't say what they really mean. That's where subtext comes in. The art of implying emotions and conflicts without stating them outright. It's about reading between the lines, picking up on the tension crackling beneath the surface. Ernest Hemingway was a master of subtext. In his short story, Hills Like White Elephants, a couple has a terse, evasive conversation about an unspecified operation. On the surface, they're just talking about the scenery and what to drink. But through their tense pauses and loaded exchanges, it becomes clear they're really grappling with the decision to have an abortion. When the woman says, "That's the only thing that bothers us. It's the only thing that's made us unhappy," the weight of their shared history and unspoken fears is palpable. So, how can you harness the power of subtext in your own dialogue? One approach is to think about what your characters aren't saying, or what they're saying obliquely. Look for opportunities to use irony, sarcasm, or understatement to hint at deeper emotions bubbling beneath the surface. Pay attention to body language and tone of voice, too. Sometimes a character's nonverbal cues can speak louder than their actual words. And finally, when it comes to dialogue, less is often more. Great dialogue is lean and purposeful. It doesn't waste words on small talk or irrelevant tangents. Every line should either reveal character, advance the plot, or both. It's about being economical and impactful. For a masterclass in concision, look no further than Raymond Carver. In his minimalist stories, characters often speak in terse, loaded fragments that cut right to the emotional quick. Take this gut punch of an exchange from what we talk about when we talk about love. "I don't know anything," she said. "I feel awful." In just 9 words, Carver conveys volumes about the character's confusion, despair, and emotional paralysis. To achieve that same sense of purposeful brevity in your own dialogue, be ruthless about trimming the fat. Constantly ask yourself, what is this conversation accomplishing? What new information or character development is each line conveying? If the answer is not much, it might be time to break out the red pen. Remember, dialogue is not real speech. It's a distilled, stylized version where every word counts. So, there you have it, folks. The 4 cornerstones of unforgettable dialogue. Natural and authentic, distinct and voice, subtextual and layered, concise and purposeful. But the real magic happens when you weave all those elements together. When you have characters speaking in ways that feel utterly specific and real, while also hinting at oceans of unspoken history and emotion beneath the surface, all in service of propelling your story forward. It ain't easy, but man, is it worth it. Because when you nail that alchemy of dialogue, your characters don't just come alive on the page. They lodge themselves in readers' hearts and minds, leaving an imprint that lingers long after the book is closed. And if you want to take your dialogue skills to the next level, be sure to check out my full course on writing dynamic dialogue. There's a link in the description below. It's chock full of exercises, examples, and techniques to help you craft conversations that sparkle and sing. But for now, I want to hear from you. What's your favorite example of unforgettable dialogue from a book or movie? What makes it so powerful and enduring? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's geek out about the joys of perfectly crafted character speech. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? Connecting with each other through the power of story, one killer conversation at a time. So go forth and write some dialogue that dazzles, my friends. Your characters and your readers will thank you.